and welcome to Dove Presents Real Beauty series. It's a Myco original and streaming exclusively on Myco. मैं हूं सिद्रा इकबाल and once again here's a conversation that is bound to change your perspective about beauty. Real beauty is all about balance कि किस तरह आप ये beautiful balance create कर सकते हैं. लेकिन real life में हम सबके लिए बहुत मुश्किल होता है. जब हम professional goals पे focus करते हैं तो health goals पीछे रह जाते हैं. हेल्थ गोल्स को साथ लेकर चलते हैं तो फैमिली टाइम और फ्रेंड्स टाइम हमारा इफेक्ट हो जाता है. सो हाउ डू वी हैव इट ऑल? हाउ डू वी क्रिएट दैट ब्यूटिफुल हार्मनी दैट सीम्स सो इलूसिव? और ख़ास तौर पे जब एक दफ़ा ये बैंड वैगन हमारी ख़राब हो जाती है ना, तो वापस इसको रूटीन में लाना कितना मुश्किल होता है. सो माई गेस्ट टुडे कैन हेल्प यू विद दैट. She is a renowned fitness expert, a yoga practitioner, an entrepreneur, and someone who's also a certified nutritionist. She does it all with such beauty that you are bound to ask कि ये सब कैसे मुमकिन है? Does she have superpowers? Let's find out. हमारे साथ आज मौजूद हैं ज़रमीना फैसल. Hi Zarmeena.
Hi Sidra, thank you so much for the kind words.
I am delighted to have you over because ये एक अच्छा मौका है at least so that friends can catch up and we find out how do you do it all. तो मुझे बताओ कि were you always very disciplined in order to manage it all? Because दिन में वही 24 घंटे होते हैं, but you're able to do so much more than all of us, mere mortals.
You know, I think discipline is a practice and it's a practice that I work at every day. It's not something कि हमेशा होती है. I remember I read this quote a while ago which was कि motivation comes and goes. Discipline is something that you have to work at. So it's not that you always want to do XYZ, but you have to sometimes push past and do what you don't feel like doing. And I think that's where discipline comes in. Not that I'm perfect at it. I will not claim to be, but the way that I look at it is that it's a practice. It's something that you just have to strengthen every day.
Zarmeena, our friendship goes back to the time when it was an empty nest for you. You were newly wedded और अभी नहीं सोचा था कि जब family होगी तो उसकी क्या-क्या responsibilities होंगी. But I have seen that even with that new phase of life, with this new set of responsibilities, you've maintained your fitness practice. बहुत सारी ख़वातीन के लिए आसान नहीं होता, बल्कि एक्सक्यूज़ बन जाता है. प्रेगनेंसी में जो वेट पुट ऑन करते हैं, साल तक वो नहीं उतरता. How were you able to do it?
So I think that each phase of my life has actually led me into discovering different parts of my health and fitness journey. It's when I was pregnant and postpartum that I actually started researching more about prenatal, postnatal, best practices, how women should take care of their bodies to strengthen themselves postpartum. And that is actually the practices that I applied. And it really helped me. I didn't teach it for a while actually. It's only around the time of my second child that I decided to start teaching pre and postnatal. And aside from that, I've also been very lucky to have a great support system around. I think uska, we underestimate how big a part that can play. So if you have a great support system, it allows you to take better care of yourself, which allows you to also take better care of your children.
Absolutely. अब कुछ ऐसे सवाल जिससे हम सब रिलेट कर सकते हैं. मुझे I'm a foodie और मेरी सबसे बड़ी जो मेरी बैलेंस और फिटनेस बैलेंस के पीछे जिसको कहना चाहिए ना दुश्मनी है, वो मेरी माँ की है. Because her cooking is so excellent and it's so hard to resist. The moment she knows I'm trying to portion control, eat clean, she would bring out the niharis and the biryani. And I'm sure this is something a lot of women can relate to कि हमारी families, हमारे family functions, हमारी social commitments, it doesn't allow us to eat clean. How do you deal with that?
That's always a tricky question. And I think it's a very personal answer for everyone. So if a client came to me as a coach, what I would probably say to them is that you have to know your body. You have to know how your body is tolerating certain foods, whatever you're taking in, how is it tolerating that? There are certain foods that we think this is not great for you, but your body might tolerate it perfectly fine. And if it's not affecting you that way, then you can have it a little bit in moderation. And kuch khane hai that make you feel sluggish, that bring down your energy, which you would want to probably have a little less of, or at least you would want to know कि अच्छा अगर ये मैं खाऊंगी then this is the effect it's going to have on me.
बहुत सारी diets जो आजकल हैं, and I call them fad diets because there may be some data but it's not conclusive data कि ये काम करती हैं. तो उसमें elimination की बात होती है. कुछ लोग कहेंगे कि sugars बिल्कुल ख़त्म कर दो, carbs ना खाओ, या फिर gluten eliminate कर दो. Does elimination work, Zarmeena?
For some people, yes.
Okay.
I would have to say I've seen people do really well on elimination diets, and they've realized, say, if we're talking about gluten, we're talking about dairy, that it doesn't affect them well. So in case you actually start listening to your body and you start seeing in fact XYZ doesn't suit me, then yes, an elimination diet would help with that.
I'm a stress eater. मेरे पास अगर काम का लोड आ जाए और ख़ास तौर पे अगर कोई बहुत heavy duty project आ जाए जो बहुत भूख लगती है ज़रमीना, and we've discussed it several times, and I'm sure a lot of viewers can relate it with this as well. So जिनको stress eating की वजह से बड़े lucky वो लोग होते हैं जिनकी भूख उड़ जाती है, मुझे ज़्यादा लगने लगती है. दोनों तरह के लोग क्या करें? जिनकी भूख उड़ जाती है वो क्या करें? Because suddenly they're dropping weight, and the ones जो लगता है कि भाई stress में हर तरह की चीज़ खा रहे हैं, no portion control, उनको क्या advice करोगी?
So I'm exactly the same as you. I'm a stress eater.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing is you find other ways to de-stress, because what you're trying to do is actually comfort yourself by giving yourself something that feels good. But वो थोड़ा short term होता है, and then you might actually not feel great later on. So it's not easy to do, but you find other ways that kind of help you de-stress a little bit.
You're absolutely right. मुझे याद आ रहा है, I think it was Mel Robbins who said कि आप ना जो चीज़ आपके लिए अच्छी होती है उससे पहले कभी कभार you are feeling like I don't have the energy to do it. For example, going to the gym or going for a run or doing anything which is movement related. उससे पहले आपको जो ना गुस्सा आ रहा होता है कि नहीं मुझसे नहीं हो रहा, but you always feel great afterwards. On the other hand, things which are not great for you, you are very excited and very tempted to do them, like that last big chocolate piece that you really want to have. लेकिन उसके बाद बहुत बुरा लगता है. So how do you deal with the guilt अगर कभी ज़्यादा खा लेती हो या?
I think it's better to eliminate the guilt as much as we can and just kind of move on from there. अच्छा ठीक है, अब खा लिया. It's done. Pehले I remember when I was much younger, it was that if I've started, suppose, eating XYZ, I would be like, अब ये दिन खराब तो हो गया,
बर्बाद हो गया.
So might as well go on with it.
वो जो शुरू होता है ना कि अच्छा ये cheat meal है, वो cheat day बनता है, फिर cheat week बनता है, and before we know it, it's just we are cheaters.
Yeah, so now it's if you've had the thing, you've had it. Yeah. That doesn't mean that you have to have everything else that comes in your way, right? So eliminating that sense of guilt from food and just seeing it for what it is.
And every good step counts. लेकिन मुझे बहुत हंसी आती है लोगों पे जो कहते हैं जी डबल चीज़ बर्गर, लार्ज फ्राइज और एक शुगर फ्री सोडा दे दें साथ में. Does that make a difference, Zarmeena? ये मेरा अपना version है work life balance.
I cannot comment on that one.
अच्छा, मुझे ये बताओ कि जितना आसान हमारे लिए अनहेल्दी चीज़ों को अपनी डाइट में से एलिमिनेट करना है, आई थिंक also the people that we allow to be in our lives, they are also thoughts and experiences that we are consuming. और उसमें people are not even aware of the fact कि so many influences are rather negative and toxic. और उनको अलग करना मुमकिन नहीं होता. Remember we have these conversations where we realize कि some of our friends had tendencies which were not gelling in with ours. How do we eliminate toxic people?
That's a tough question. I think that after a while, when you become in tune with your own energy, you can tell where being around certain situations, you come back feeling depleted. Yeah. If you're going somewhere and it's actually depleting your energy, I think that itself is a good indicator to you, okay, there's something in this situation that is not serving you. So, whether it's, as we said, food related or it's situation related, anything
or relationships related,
it is anything that's depleting you is generally not something that you're going to want to keep going towards.
So what I'm hearing is setting healthy boundaries. चाहे वो खाने के साथ हो, routine के साथ हो या लोगों के साथ हो. And why do we struggle with it so much?
Because setting boundaries is very hard. It's a very hard thing to do because I mean, I don't know about you, but I wasn't used to it at
Yes.
all. And when you start setting it, it brings up a lot of discomfort in the body, in the mind.
I think as women we are also trained to be people pleasers. हमें बहुत ज़्यादा कंडीशन किया जाता है कि अगर we assert ourselves, we say no to an intrusive comment or an intrusive question, तो हमें कहा जाता है देखो वो क्या फील करेंगे, not realizing कि उनके इस सवाल से हम कैसा फील कर रहे हैं and prioritizing ourselves. So if somebody like you and I is right now struggling with setting boundaries, Zarmeena, what should be the first step in setting a boundary?
I think the first step is getting in touch with your own feelings and not overriding them. As you said, if someone passes a comment and you are, say, offended by it, so usko don't laugh it off then.
Yes.
Acknowledge that, okay, I am offended. Don't tell yourself that no, you're being sensitive. Just acknowledge what you're feeling. I think that's the first step, that you acknowledge your own feelings about a topic. Phir uske baad, then you can start, putting those boundaries in place with other people. But the first thing is to be honest with yourself.
What about the older generation? मुझे तो सबसे ज़्यादा struggle लगती है if I try to convince my mother that the way we normally have our food, हम late night dinner कर रहे हैं या बहुत ज़्यादा oily food consume कर रहे हैं, mom, it's not healthy, and she's like, हम साल से खा रहे हैं and it's absolutely okay. Do you ever get into struggles like that?
Less. In fact, I think the older generation say I've actually learned some best practices, like especially during the postpartum period. A lot of the old recipes that are passed down were
Generations से जो मिलती हैं.
generational
Yes.
wisdom. And it's interesting because अगर आप दूसरे cultures को भी देखें, there are a lot of similarities in the way that they support women during the postpartum period.
Yes.
It's always about these warm, nurturing foods, about deep rest, about not letting the body get too cold, about getting a lot of sleep, a lot of support by other people. So it's interesting because I think कि हमारे पास generational wisdom तो है. Sometimes our generation shuns it a little bit because we think कि नहीं, this is not the way it is now. But now we're learning that a lot of these things are coming back, like a lot of these things that have been natural to us are health superfoods now.
Absolutely. अच्छा, not just food. जब भी हम fitness के बारे में सोचते हैं तो दो चीज़ें तो हमारे जहन में आती हैं. We think about food, what is it that we're putting in our bodies. We think about movement, what kind of exercise we're doing. We seldom think about rest. और ख़ास तौर पे अगर आप बड़े शहरों में देखें, life is very fast. We take pride in the fact that this city never sleeps. हम पूरी रात भी जाएं तो आपको खाने पीने की जगह खुली मिलेगी, traffic होगी. But why is that something to boast about? Like, we're not getting enough sleep. And maybe in your 20s it doesn't show up. Maybe in your teenage life it doesn't show up. उसके बाद इसके बड़े severe health implications होते हैं. So हम rest को और सोने को, sleep को क्यों नहीं prioritize करते ज़रमीना?
I think it's just part of our fast-paced culture and modern
FOMO होने
life.
लगता है, fear of missing out. ऐसा लगता है रात में कुछ बड़ा ज़बरदस्त होने वाला है that I might miss out on.
I think a lot of people also take nighttime as their me time because during the day you have so many commitments, or you have so many different directions that you're being pulled in, that at night you're like, okay, this is my time for myself, whether you want to read a book, whether you want to watch something, and that is actually something that वो फिर spill over होता है to the next day, because you're right, I feel like we are unrested. And हम जितना कम rest करते हैं, it has a spillover effect into the next day. You'll be more tired, so you'll be, not as mindful about your eating, not as mindful about other things. So it is a spillover effect.
Zarmeena, I want to circle back to the toxic relationships, क्योंकि देखो जब practices की भी बात करें, अगर मुझे एक moment of realization है कि I have to adopt healthy habits, मैंने time पे सोना है, मैंने पानी ज़्यादा पीना है, I want to eat clean, I want to bring in movement and exercise in my life. Sometimes the people that we surround ourselves with are not letting us adopt these healthy habits. In fact, हमें जैसे बताया जाता है कि this is almost like a prophecy, like a forecast into your future. जो top 5 लोग जिनके साथ आप सबसे ज़्यादा वक्त गुजारते हैं, आपकी तमाम life predictions उन्हीं के जैसे होंगी, indicators, यानी health उन्हीं की जैसे हो जाएगी, finances उन्हीं की जैसे हो जाएंगे, ज़िंदगी का नज़रिया, outlook उनके जैसा ही हो जाएगा. So, do you notice, are we mindful about the top 5 people in our life? And if they're not working, if that's not the kind of life I want to create, what should I do?
So I think it comes down to the same thing, which is about being present in the moment.
Mhm.
And हम mindfulness को एक बहुत alien concept बना देते हैं that you have to
Yes.
be sitting, in a quiet room and meditating for you to be mindful. But that mindfulness can be brought into any aspect of your life. You can mindfully go for a walk where you're very present and you're noticing your environment. You can go for a mindful meal with a friend where you are present in your conversation and you are also present in your own body and you notice how that interaction makes you feel. And I think once we start noticing these things, it automatically will start shifting the way that you interact with people.
Yeah, that's true. I was talking to a colleague yesterday और उन्होंने बड़े शान से मुझे ये बताया ज़रमीना कि पिछले 10 सालों में उन्होंने एक भी छुट्टी नहीं की है and they've always been there and they're probably usually the last person to sign off from the office. और मैंने कहा भाई कहाँ है आपका मेडल इस चीज़ का? So we glorify tipping the balance over the other way around as well. हमें लगता है कि अगर हम रेस्ट करेंगे, अगर हम टाइम ऑफ लेंगे, we're being lazy. And इसके लिए हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि लोग हमें सराहें. Is this something to be appreciated if you're working non-stop?
I think over here we expect medals for things that हमें नहीं आने वाले, like a medal for not saying no the most.
हाँ.
And to someone like that, I would just ask, ठीक है, you are working and as long as you don't feel completely burnt out by that, as long as there's still some aspect of nurturing you in there. Abhi maine recently I had read something which was burnout doesn't happen when you are doing too much. It happens when you're not doing enough that nourishes you, enough that nurtures you. So I think that it's very important within the context of even work, whatever we do, to take that little time out to nourish ourselves, to nurture ourselves.
How do you imagine yourself growing old?
I hope that I am able to do all the things that I love.
Hana?
That as I told you, Abhi, I recently went on this hike, and as I was, while I was hiking, I was just thinking that, I want to be able to do this for a very long time. I want to be able to do the things that I love, and for me, that's a priority. So that's something that then I need to live my life in a certain way, that I prioritize that. As I grow older, I don't have to stop doing what I love.
I think we're almost in that realm where one should also understand, क्योंकि हम real beauty की बात कर रहे हैं ज़रमीना, strong is beautiful. I think being resilient is beautiful. Being flexible is beautiful. And these are things that have very recently come into our fitness vocabulary. उससे पहले मुझे याद है कि मुझे किसी ने याद कराया. My mother actually exclaimed upon it. कहने कि तुम लोग आज जिम में जाते हो, पहले जिम को slimming center कहते थे. And people would actually go there just to lose weight. So I mean, now we are talking about CrossFit and making sure that you are doing something which is building up muscle, etc. I think that's a positive change.
It is. I think, alhamdulillah, you can see that there's a big move towards longevity of all aspects, So whether that's longevity of your strength or whether that's longevity in your flexibility, mobility ki baat ab ho rahi hai. So it's nice because people are going beyond just aesthetics and actually focusing on how something feels inside,
मुझे आखिर में ये बताओ ज़रमीना कि phases ज़िंदगी में आते हैं, हमने seasons की भी बात की, and it's important to enjoy every phase. Did you ever take a break from the kind of life that you've created only because तुम्हारे बच्चे छोटे हों तो उस वक्त responsibilities फ़र्क थी, and were you feeling guilty, were you feeling angry at that time? How did you navigate the emotional space?
I was actually thinking about this recently. When my kids were young, actually with my first child, I did give myself a lot of grace. That I've been through a lot of change, and it's going to take some time for my body to respond and for me to rebuild strength. And I didn't really put any pressure on myself to do it, and it kind of happened with gentle practices and quite organically, I would say. But with my second child, I had it in my head that I've done this once before.
Yeah.
So I did put a little bit more of
effort.
That. Yes, and I did want to get back to work sooner and get back to life sooner. And I was talking to someone and they said, but whose permission do you need?
Ah.
Whose permission do you need to take care of yourself? And I was like, you know what? You're right. I need to do this for myself. And it's one of those things that I think it's such a vulnerable time. The more that you take care of yourself, it comes back to you, fourfold.
Yes.
So and that's something that I had to kind of repeat to myself and slow myself down and be like, you know what, that you know better right now. So you have to listen to what your body is saying.
But I think this is so profound. I hope my viewers have noticed कि whose permission do you need? यानी आपको किसकी इजाज़त चाहिए अपना ख्याल रखने के लिए? और हम अक्सर यही कर रहे होते हैं, हम दुनिया जहान को ब्लेम कर रहे होते हैं. We talk about the fact that oh my God, nobody is supporting me. मेरे घर से जिम बहुत दूर है, मेरे काम के आवर्स बहुत लंबे हैं, मेरे बच्चों को कौन देखेगा, etc. etc. Each one of us has the power to create that balance that is going to reward us. And thank you for giving us that. Sabina, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you. और मुझे लगता है कि we all need these reminders. कई दफ़ा हमें लगता है कि यार ये तो बड़ी common sensical बातें हैं, work life balance maintain करो, साफ सुथरा खाना खाओ, exercise करो, वक्त पे सो जाओ. But we all need reminders because it is so often that we forget these simple things, and that's where real beauty lies, in the simplicity of it all, in creating the work-life balance that is going to reward us not just in the present but also in the future. I hope that you found this conversation to be interesting and something that gave you that very important reminder. मुझे आपकी feedback और comments का इंतज़ार रहेगा. Inshallah Ta'ala, I'll see you next time. Take good care of yourself. खुदा हाफ़िज़.